Freshmen don't play at Alabama, right? Well, that's what they say. What's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. This is Caleb Downs, and he is absolutely going to start for the Alabama Crimson Tide this season at that safety position. Coach Saban has had a lot of positive praise about Downs. He's going to be back there with Devontae Smith. Looks the part. Look at this young man. I was looking at him during one of the open availabilities that Alabama had during one of the practices. He looks similar size to Malachi Moore. Now, this is freshman running back Justice Haynes. Scored 3 touchdowns during Alabama's spring game. Let me ask you a question. In this photo coming up, does he look like a freshman, right? He's built by Bama already. Look at the speed and look at the footwork. Put this up on YouTube and it broke the internet. That is some amazing footwork for just a freshman. Now, where are we going to see Justice Haynes get in the rotation, considering Alabama has Jace McClellan coming back along with Roydell Williams? Well, he's going to be that additional running back that gets reps. Same with Jam Miller. And I would eventually assume that Richard Young gets reps as well. It's a healthy running back room, but Justice Haynes already has the maturity. And that is something that Coach Saban has talked about. How do freshmen get on the field? Well, they show signs of maturity. Justice Haynes has that, along with the DNA makeup to get on the field immediately. He is going to play on Saturdays, which is a great component for the Alabama running back room. Keep your eye on this young man. We have talked about him before, and rightfully so. He has earned this all on his own merit. Justice Haynes is here to play this season for the Crimson Tide. Now, we talked about Dylan Lonergan, right? The quarterback out of Georgia. A lot of people really excited about what the freshman is bringing. And I don't think there's any speculation that Dylan Lonergan is going to be the starter this coming season. But from what people are talking about, he has a fantastic ball, probably throws one of the best balls on the roster at the quarterback room, and people are probably sleeping on his athleticism as well. This was a highly ranked quarterback that came in, and people should be excited about him. Absolutely. Another freshman on the roster at the quarterback position is Eli Holstein. We've been continuing to track his progress, probably a little bit behind Dylan Lonergan, but it takes some time for these quarterbacks to get going. Let's talk about offensive lineman Kayden Proctor. Right now, he could be a starter at that left tackle position, which could mean Alabama could have 3 starters, if you rotate Justice Haynes in there, to be getting rotations. He's number 74, and he's a big boy, and he moves really well. A lot of these freshmen that Eric Wolford brought in are just absolutely monsters. This is Keon Keeley. Keon Keeley is an outside linebacker and a very highly touted outside linebacker. Now, granted, Alabama has Dallas Turner and Chris Broswell, but Keon Keeley has the athleticism absolutely to get on the field this coming season. He is 6'5", 242 pounds. Look at this athleticism that he has hitting the bag right there. Freshman coming in, just eager to play. Now, we haven't seen footage yet of Yanzi Pierre. I was going through all the footage this morning, but we did get a photo of him on Friday, August 18th. So that doesn't mean anything. I mean, Yanzi's right there. Coach Saban was actually asked about Pierre and Keeley and said that both of those guys are making progress. So that's kind of the update on the 2 5-star outside linebackers. This is Alabama running back Richard Young. Had an opportunity to get a photo of him yesterday that Alabama sent to us. And like I said, that running back room is healthy. And Richard Young got here during the summertime, making progress with that running back room. I think Quay Russo is one of the most underrated players on this freshman squad that we've been kind of highlighting. 6'2", 242 pounds, out of Alabama, and I've seen a lot of footage of him, and I've been impressed every single time that I've seen him. You know what? I've been impressed with Brayson Hubbard as well. 6'2", 195 pounds. I've seen him a couple times. I'm like, who is that? Number 18, always making plays out there, working with the secondary. As stated, Eric Wolford brought in some absolute monsters, and Welcome Formby out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 6'7", 320 pounds. These freshmen that came in are absolute giants. Kayden Proctor, as mentioned, he's 6'7", 355. Ola Celine out of Finland, he's 6'6", 326. So those guys that Wolford brought in are just giants, towers, and they're all progressing very nicely. And you know who else has been turning heads is Jalen Hell at the receiver position. Look at this. Nice focus on the football, uses his hands, turns it upfield, stays in bounds. Number 55, this is Brock Montgomery, another one of those freshmen that came in that everyone's excited about. And then right here, this is Jaron Hamilton, one of the fastest players on the team, number 16. So that is your freshman report through August 19th. And if we don't have video of the player, or if we don't have a photo of the player, that doesn't mean that the player is performing poorly or isn't going to get on the field. It just means that we don't have footage or we don't have a photo just yet. But I think when you look to Caleb Downs specifically on the defensive side of the ball, people are going to really be blown away with the ability of Caleb Downs. I honestly think that he has the makings to be playing on Sunday. He's that good. To come in here and to receive high marks from Coach Saban is just something that is just so special. And he talks about the maturity for these freshmen to be able to get on the field. Imagine coming to Alabama as a freshman, defensive side of the ball. Coach Saban works with the defensive backs. So if he's giving out compliments to the defensive backs and specifically a freshman, that says a lot about the kid's maturity. And that's just really credit to his parents, his coaching, everything that he's put into that mindset to be able to get on the field. I mean, this guy is really going to turn heads. Justice Haynes as well. I think on the offensive side of the ball, Alabama has two highly touted freshmen that are going to play significant amount of football. Throw in Kayden Proctor as well. Those are going to be the guys that represent this program from a freshman perspective, but also these are the leaders going forward. I can already see those guys being high-level players. They're going to be high-level players this year, which is so amazing considering that they just got here, right? They should have just finished high school in May or June or whatever, and here they are going into this next part of their young career as starters at the University of Alabama. Now, back to Dylan Lonergan. Look, there's been no speculation that he's going to be the starter by any means, but that doesn't mean don't get excited about him. That doesn't mean don't talk about him. During the spring game, if you rewind and look at his stats and you look at his overall delivery, Dylan Lonergan was a quarterback that people were talking about back then, so there's no surprise that people are starting to talk about him in a very positive light as we continue to move to fall camp. We've talked about the quarterback position so many times, and we're going to continue up until that Middle Tennessee State game. But those quarterbacks are progressing nicely. And at Alabama, as you know, the backup, the next quarterback is always better, right? Think about how excited Julian Sain is making people, right? They're like, this is the player that we want to come in and start, but now you're excited about Dylan Lonergan. It's just how the quarterback position works. Kayden Proctor versus Elijah Pritchett is a battle right now that is taking place. There's still going to be position battles as we move through fall camp. Look at Kayden Proctor. Can you imagine that young man running at you? 6'7", 355 pounds. And then to reiterate on Keon Keeley again, I think when we talk about these freshmen who are going to see the field, it's going to be really hard, I think, for Keon Keeley to stay on the sidelines considering the athleticism that he has. I've been watching some Chris Broswell tape, and look, this is a player who has a starting spot, but I think he's going to be pushed by some of these younger guys just because of the athleticism, the reach. And let's face it, you have to have super athletic ability to be able to get around those tackles. You just do. That's the outside linebacker of this day and age. Example is William Anderson. So I hope you have enjoyed this freshman report. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I'll put the Venmo link inside the comment box. If you guys want to support me, I really, really appreciate it. This is what I do for a full time. This is my job, is running this YouTube channel, and I appreciate all you guys' support. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube.